Hey, Deck It Out DIYers, and welcome to our first tray kit. So our tiered tray kit comes with all of the decor that you will put on your tiered tray, minus some of the little embellishments that you might find. So when you get your kit, there's going to be so many pieces, and I am going to do my best to wrap them together as you kind of see here. So what I want you to do is make sure you lay out your project kit so that you see all of your pieces. You will have a sun, and then it will say some words on it, summertime and tan lines or something like that. We'll find out in a minute. So the words will be in there. This was just an extra piece that came out. You will have a double piece for your pineapples. The floaty flamingo will have a little piece that's taped inside there. Your drink, I believe yours will be connected, but you will have an umbrella top, you'll have your wedge, you'll have the drink part. Okay, so lots of pieces for your drink. This small piece is going to be the base to hold up your drink. We have the summer lovin' sign. The circle is for the flip-flops, so you'll have the flip-flops and then the sandal straps. These pieces right here are going to be the beach balls. Okay, you will have twine that goes with those as well. And then your bonus project, because you are a part of our first box, which is awesome, we're gonna give you one more decor piece, which will be the popsicles. Okay, and then you will have a variety of stands, which we'll talk about when we start assembling. So just make sure you have all those pieces laid out, and then a variety of paint colors, which we've included. And then we'll start painting the pieces, and I'll kind of go over how we will do that. Okay, when I have all my pieces laid out like this, I went through and made myself a list of paint colors that I wanted to paint each of the projects. So on our Facebook page, I did paint a tiered tray. It was an owl theme. You could always go back to see how that one went. But right now, I have them all laid out. I've taken my pencil, I wrote down my list on my paper, and then I also wrote down on my projects in some spots what I'm going to paint. So I would encourage you to kind of plan it out a little bit, just so you have some idea of where you're going with your paint. And then when you are ready to dive into the project, you can push your pieces apart. And these projects are fun because they don't take a lot of paint. I'm gonna start with the pineapple. So you'll put paint on your sponge. We call it loading. And then you will unload. Okay, and the top of the pineapple, I'm going to have green. So I'm going to grab some more paint, unload it. You don't need tons and tons of paint. And then with all of these projects is the same. You don't need tons of paint, and I always pull it out towards the edge because they are cut on a laser. They have a burnt edge. You don't need to paint the sides unless you want to. So go for it, paint the piece how you would like. Okay, I'm gonna paint the bottom of the pineapple with my yellow. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yep, yellow. And then when I'm done painting that, I will paint the top layer of the pineapple. Now, you could choose to paint the pineapple all yellow, the top layer as well. I think I'm gonna do white, just to be a little bit different. This is paint, you guys. So if you paint it and you decide you don't like it, you can just paint right over it. I also like to have baby wipes on hand because that wipes off the paint quite well if I make a mistake. Okay, so that's almost dry. When you paint these over pieces, I said I was gonna do white. Let me grab the white here. You're gonna use the same technique. But this time I would say be even more careful and use less paint. So thickness of tissue paper. Because if you don't want the paint to seep through, you don't want to have a lot of paint on there. You would come back and do multiple coats, multiple thin coats to get the coverage that you desire. Okay, so you'll paint the entire piece, and then once it's dry, you can wait until the end to assemble, which is just gluing all the pieces together. or you can glue as you paint and as the paint dries. At the end of this video, I will show you how to put all of the pieces together, because there are a couple of backs that will be glued together. And so we'll go through that at the end of the tutorial. Okay, once you have it painted to the desire that you would like, you can just glue it on or set it on. Okay, so you'll complete your whole kit using these ideas. Okay, I wanted to show you an idea for the sun. So for the sun, I'm going to blend some paint colors. So the easiest way to blend paint colors is when the paint is still wet. Okay, so make sure it's wet, and I am usually okay with using the same sponge, but if you're not, then make sure you grab another sponge. And I'm just pulling paint from both paint trays that I have here, and I'm going from the middle out just so that I don't get as much paint on the edges that were painted with the laser. So I still have those dark edges. So blending your paint, do it when it's still wet. Use one or multiple sponges, smooth out your design, smooth out your paint so that you don't have those bumps left over, because those bumps will stay, okay? They won't settle. If you have other paint on your hand, maybe use your baby wipe to clean it off like I did not. But now I just covered up with more paint. Okay, so just start kind of in the middle, pull it out, keep your paint wet. Once it dries, you can add more detail with using more colors, or just brushing on more of the colors that you've used. So I might wait and do a little bit of that once it's dry again. Okay, but now here's a trick for painting these letters. So when you pull out the letters, okay, there's gonna be small pieces. Okay, I like to, you can do two things. You can leave them in this circle cutout like they are. These ones are gonna fall out, so let me see if I can catch them. You can make sure the tape is on the back, and you can leave them in here to paint, okay? For other little parts, if you wanna take them out, you could also do this. Take your piece of tape, the painter's tape that's included, tape down your little pieces. Okay, just stick them onto the tape and then paint this way, because now you're able to hold the tape instead of holding the little piece. So for example, I'm gonna paint this yellow, and to keep those grooves in there, you just wanna do light paint coats. And if you fill the grooves in a little bit, that's not a problem. You can keep it as is, or you could take a small X-Acto knife if you wanted, and kind of pull the paint out of those tiny spots. I'm gonna paint this pink because I think it will really pop on the sun. So if you're gonna paint it while it's in here, very light coats of paint again, because if the paint seeps through, it will dry and then your letters will be stuck on the inside. So I'm just using very light paint to go over my words, good times, tan lines. And I'm going to leave it in this shape right here to dry. But if you feel like you use too much paint, then I would just encourage you to pop it out after you're done painting. So just pull the paint off the painter's tape off the back and pull your letters out so that they can dry without you worrying about them being stuck. Okay, and then you can use, again, as many colors as you would like. We included quite a few with this kit. And this one, that little bugger popped out. So I'll just put them over here on the tape that I have. Stick it down, paint over it. And I did get some paint up here, but I will just paint over it. Okay, and so when all your pieces are painted, you can assemble your sun, or you can wait till the end. Okay, DIYers, the time has come. We have painted all of our pieces and we are ready to put everything together. So what I would recommend, I kind of have a mess, and maybe you do too, because that's how sometimes it gets when you're crafting so many projects. Try to find the pieces that go together. So for me, it's this Summer Lovin'. All goes together. So I'm gonna kind of try to stack pieces that go together if I can. This popsicle is still a little wet, so I'm gonna stack that off to the side. I do have my flip-flops dry and ready to go, so I'm gonna find those pieces. Let's take a look at this. We're just gonna go through each piece and glue them together. Now, when we started and you received your box, most of it should have been kind of put together for you, hopefully. Hopefully you found that that was nice and easy for you to be able to find each piece. Now, as you glue, you don't need a ton of glue because this is super glue, okay? Take one of those small detail brushes that you have in your kit, and if there's any glue that kind of oozes out or kind of spills over the edge, take that detail brush and wipe it up, okay? Whoops, for me, I just shifted that whole flip-flop, okay? And I've reminded you before, but I'm gonna say it again just because I feel like I need to. It is super glue, you guys, and it does glue your fingers together because I've done it. So be careful. I want you to be careful with this glue. Okay, so there's one of my pieces. I'm gonna set that aside. We're gonna talk about the backer pieces to help stand everything up once we get everything glued. So right now, just kind of go through each of your pieces. Now, I'm not going to be too particular on pieces like this pineapple duo where there's so many intricate parts. I'm gonna get glue in majority of the places, especially on the outsides, kind of where it might be, but this is a decorative tray, so I don't feel like I have to prepare it for too hard, you know, because I don't expect my kids to be playing with it. But if you expect your kids to be playing with it or for it to be messed with a lot, you might want to put more glue on. But I kind of just put it around the edges, and then I'm just going to pinch it together quickly, and then I'm going to lay it off to the side. Okay. This one. Okay, we're gonna come back to this middle cutout piece. I'm gonna just glue my water on the bottom here. The glue cutout piece will come from the backer piece that we're gonna put on. So this will be able to be glued on because we're gonna put another backer piece on. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's take a look at your drink here. So you do have the piece that will line up with the bottom, so make sure you're lining it up nicely. This is the fun part of the tray, I think. It's when you get to put it all together and mix and match all your pieces and get them all together and get them all to fit. And if they don't fit or you don't like the color, change it. It's paint. So you can mix and match paint colors, do more blending if you want. This, it looks like this one that I'm working on right now has a little bit of yellow on the top. So I might have to take care of that on the top of my umbrella here. Okay, your umbrella is probably different because I did not like this design. So I changed the design after I saw it, but it should all be connected to one piece. That is my goal. Now for these pieces here, let me see here. For these pieces here, I did not paint my bases. You can, totally can. I just did not. So I'm going to take this piece that has the slot in it and I'm gonna put glue on this piece because we are gonna glue this onto the solid piece and you want it in the middle, okay? Because this is now going to be the base for your cup, your drink here, okay? So this little slot at the bottom is gonna fit inside there. Okay, so I'm gonna move my project over and reset this umbrella over here. I know it's off the screen for you probably, sorry about that. I'm just gonna reset it. Yours should be different than mine. Okay, here's another base. I select the side that is less pretty, put glue on it, flip it over, and let these sit. Okay, we're gonna let them sit and set and set up so we can continue on. Okay, this summer lovin' I probably could do the sun. Good times, tan lines. Here we go. What you wanna do for this project, take your extra painter's tape, cover it up. Okay, I have a lot of painter's tape on my beach balls here. So cover them up on this side, okay? Make sure everything gets covered. Then you'll flip it over. I didn't have this little splash in there, but I'll put it in there in a second. Oh, it looks like I'm missing one again. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna get this one in there. We're gonna get this little piece in here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're gonna use this as our guide, unless you wanna pull them out and mix and match. That's okay too. But I want to keep it as is. Okay, meaning I want the words to be placed like they are. So you're gonna do your best to get glue on these letters, and they're kind of funky. I totally get that. Okay, try to get the glue only on the letters and not on the actual circle that they're sitting in. That will make it a little bit more challenging. I can guarantee you though, I did get some in the spots I didn't want, so we're gonna have to work through that, but I wanna show you what it's like. Okay, so put glue on all of the pieces as best you can. Once we flip it over and get it transferred, if there's spots you have to glue, then there's spots you have to re-glue. It'll be okay. All right, now you can kind of see it, kind of not. Good thing it's a sun, and it doesn't really matter because we can turn it. Okay, so I'm gonna place it down, I'm gonna smooth it out. You wanna peel off the tape. Okay, so we're peeling off the tape. See, this bugger came out, so I'm gonna put him right back in and hope he stays. If not, we'll re-glue. It will be okay. All right, let's peel off this. Okay, we don't want this circle to stay on, right? So now you're gonna peel it up and you're gonna kind of wiggle it out. Oh, it's going pretty good. Now, some of your letters get stuck, which mine almost did. Okay. Oh, I did. You're right. I did have a T get stuck. We have X-Acto knives on hand at the workshop. Maybe you could have a sharp pencil. Maybe you have an X-Acto knife because I use them in all my videos. Use that to push it out. I'm just gonna set it down again. So here we go. Good Times tan lines. This is now garbage. Put it in my garbage pile. Oh, that is so cute. Fun fact, you guys, this is a DTH exclusive design for us. So, woohoo, it's very cool. Okay, so to glue these parts together, I'm gonna do what I've been doing for all the other pieces. We're just gonna glue it down and then we'll proceed to the beach balls, okay? And then we'll touch base again. So keep gluing. Okay, so I've finished putting together all my projects, but I now need to talk to you about these projects right here. These, I heard another DIYer call them kickstands, and I think that's a great word for them. So they're going to glue onto your project, whichever project you want to have stand, and then this fits in there just like so. They're different from these because these will go together, okay? And then this will hold your sign like this. Now, if you want to paint them, you can. I just did not, okay? Because they're not going to really be seen. So we're going to use this kickstand piece for the flamingo. And so to paint this, I want this cut out on the inside because I think it would be cuter like to look like the water's there. So I'm gonna take my tape and I'm gonna put it across, okay? Flip this over and I want this to stand up. So I'm gonna make sure that this will line up, okay, on here. So I'm gonna put my glue on, okay? And then I'm going to just set this on and I wanna make sure that it's not hanging over any edge. I don't wanna be able to see it in the front, okay? Now I can't see it in the front. I'm happy with where it's at. You can glue this piece in if you want. However, if you glue this piece in, when you go to store these in a nice little bag or in a box, however you decide to store your decorative pieces, this is now gonna be sticking out. So you may want to just hold off on that. Okay, so I'm gonna let that one sit. Your drink will fit right into this slot and this will stand. How adorable. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is coming together so well. This piece right here, oh, I forgot to glue together my popsicles. So this piece right here is for your popsicles, okay? They will fit in that stand. And this is kind of like your bonus because really, I gave you a lot of pieces this month, so I hope you love this tray. It's so fun. Guess I kind of got a little carried away with how many pieces, but this tray is awesome. Oops. And colorful and fun and probably an awesome piece to have in your house for the months of July and even into August. Okay, our next tray is gonna be awesome too, the August tray. This is so cute, you guys. So I'm gonna glue this on. Now, I'm not, this is shaking. Okay, I did not glue the popsicles into the base. I did not glue the cup into the base. I'm going to be able to take them apart. There's twine in your kit, okay? And you will, however you want, to thread the twine in, but you will put the, you will put the beach balls on the twine and then you can tie this around your tray at the top. I will, at the end of this tutorial, I will put my finished picture on the screen so you guys can see that. And you did see it briefly at the beginning of the tutorial as well, but I will show you that again. So you're gonna weave that one through, and then you can arrange these pieces on your tray, next to your tray. Maybe you don't even have a tiered tray, and maybe you're doing it in one of a bowl, or maybe you're gonna stick them around your house in different spots. Maybe you're putting them on different shelves. Lots of different ways you could do this. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do a pattern. Oh, I kind of screwed that up, didn't I? So I will stop our tutorial here so I can fix this mistake. You do have another kickstand, which I think my other kickstand piece I was going to possibly use for the pineapples. Okay, because how cute are they? But maybe you also want to set this up because you might want to use it for the sun, because this stand right here will hold the flip-flops. So I also think it depends on how you're arranging your tray and where you want things. So join us in our Deck It Out DIYers Facebook group. Share your projects. Tell me how much you love this tray. I am so excited to see what you created and how you painted with all of these beautiful colors, how it came together. And give us a shout out on social media. Tag us, Deck the Halls DIY Studio, in your posts. Tag your friends in these posts so that we can see them and they can see us, and we can all start crafting and DIYing together. Thanks for joining us for our first tiered tray monthly Deck It Out box. We loved having you, and we'll see you on social media.